I was born in Gary, Indiana a long time ago. And when I was a kid, the jobs were plentiful, the pay was great, and it was a great place to live. But it's a ghost town now because the steel industry took a dive and everything went with it. So this is a song about that, and it's called Blood, Sweat, and Dreams. And I dedicate it to all my fellow Region brothers and sisters. The sky wasn't blue when I was a child. It was always a shade of orange or gray, painted by the smoke from the steel mill on the Great Lake, where people from my town worked for their pay. Some came from down south up the hillbilly highway. Some came from further on ships and on trains, but they all came for the promise of a life that'd be better than the life they would have back home if they'd stayed. With blood, sweat, and dreams, they made the foundation for railroads and bridges, automobiles, and they were tough as the fires of the open hearth and the furnace that cast all that iron and turned it to steel. Through the hot summer sun, the cold dead of winter, 24/7, the open hearth burned, and the people built houses, churches and schools for the families they fed with the money they earned. All of those children prayed in those churches and played on the playgrounds of the schools that they built, and slept in those houses, dreaming of a promise for a future even brighter than the present time they lived. With blood, sweat, and dreams, they made a foundation for railroads and bridges and automobiles. And they were tough as the fires of the open hearth and the furnace that cast all that iron and turned it to steel. Then the steel turned to rust, so the world turned to plastic. The furnace went cold, and the open hearth died. And all of the daughters scattered like ashes, blown by the winds in search of new fires. Now the stores and the schools, the churches and the houses stand empty and broken, a reminder of when a promise was made, but later forgotten, like promises are, time and again. With blood, sweat, and dreams, they made the foundation for railroads and bridges and automobiles, all left behind by the the cruel march of time that drags old familiar into the new real. All left behind by the cruel march of time that drags old familiar into the new real. Thank you. Thank you. J. Michael 615, if you want to check me out on Instagram. Thank you all so much. My good